Okay, the video is being recorded a lot later than I normally record videos, and I know you might be wondering to yourself why. I was sleepy. I was sleepy, dog. It was. I couldn't sleep last night, man. It was tough. And for those of you who might be wondering, why couldn't you sleep last night? Don't lie to me. You saw the shot. You know what the thumbnail is. Oh. RJ Barrett shot 4 of 16, but he had the game-winning 3. 4 of 16 from 3. Game-winning 3. I don't even want to hide my disappointment, my immeasurable disappointment. I'm not mad at a lot of people. I'm going to give a lot of people passes. Number 1, Dennis Schroeder, you will be receiving a pass. You will not be receiving the blame. Number 2, Donovan Mitchell, you turned it up in the fourth quarter. You were the only reason we ever had a chance to be in this game in the first place. Evan Mobley, you made a couple mistakes, but I'm going to be honest, a lot of those, not so bad. Kenny Atkinson, James Harden, be so fucking for real with me right now. James, the turnovers were bad, right? I know the turnovers were bad. But you also gave us a chance to win. Kenny, I will excuse the rotations that I saw last night because we had a chance to win the game. Some of the rotations were really bad, and I don't mean rotations as in like the on the defensive end, because some of those were bad too. But like, I mean, I'm not telling my defense to close out on a guy who's been inconsistent as a shooter and who has been proven to me time after time again that his shot is not going in. I would say you want to close out to them hard because you want them to think that you still respect them as a shooter and then leave them open in certain moments, but that's neither here nor there. Jarrett Allen, I'm not going to say anything about you, buddy. I saw the first play of this game. I thought you had been concussed like Wembanyama was concussed, and I'm surprised you got up. Because I'm so sorry, Jarrett Allen, that had to happen to you. I am surprised that you got up from that. That was scary for me, man. I'm sorry. And for those wondering, no, we will not be talking about the Houston game. No. Austin Reeves looked good. LeBron looked good. Everything that needs to be said about the Houston team has already been said by literally everybody else. No one cares. Don't pretend that you care. It was a late it was the latest game in the cap, and I was thinking to myself, can this just go off so I can finish and 100% Silk Song? I'd rather be doing literally anything else than watching this team right now. I don't care about what Houston has going on. I just don't. I don't care. And by the way, I'm tired of NBA fans pretending that they care. Everything does not require you to pretend that you care. I'm tired of that. Stop being inauthentic. If you don't care, just don't care, dog. Let me say this. I'm going to say this very carefully because I want to offend everyone, actually. Scottie Barnes is a top 10 player in the NBA after this postseason. I will be elevating Scottie Barnes to top 10 status at the end of this postseason. I don't care what anyone says. Scottie Barnes has been playing absolutely phenomenal. And low-key, based on the postseason, and I know there's been some guys who are injured, some guys have been a little bit streaky, and they've only been playing like a couple of games. No, Scottie Barnes has given me enough sample size. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. He's a top 10 player in the NBA. And not only is he a top 10 player in the NBA, he might be the best two-way player in the NBA with the sole exception of Victor Wembanyama. He's got some of the... He's just... I am so happy that Toronto has a guy like this. I am unhappy that it had to happen to my team. 2, if the Cavaliers actually win this series, which... when the game went off, we didn't even know when Game 7 would be. We were like, it's going to be Sunday, probably. And it'll be at a time, certainly. We now know the confirmation will be at 7:30 p.m. So when they inevitably lose, I'll have the entire night to cry about it. I'm sorry. I don't believe. This has been a very heartbreaking, like, that shot. I don't even care about the Evan Mobley turnover. I care about the fact that we used our challenge way too early because I truly think that was a moment they needed a challenge and they didn't have it. I think Donovan Mitchell turned it up in the postseason, in the playoffs, and in the fourth quarter game. That's great. Love it. James Harden continues to be James Harden. I really want to see the bigs more activated, and also the ISO ball from Harden has not worked against this Raptors defense because of... I don't know why we're trying ISO ball on the Raptors, to be honest. Like, it's not working. It's not. Please get the bigs in a rhythm, in a flow state, because when we were winning the games that we've won, and the games that we were close in, and I mean close in at the fourth quarter at least, those were the games where the bigs were activated, and the bigs were in rotation, and they were moving, and they were doing great. And when the bigs are doing good on the offensive end, they're still good on the defensive end as well. The bigs excluding Thomas Bryant, because why is Thomas Bryant on this fucking team? All right. Obviously, there was another game that happened last night, not the one that I excluded as far as the Rockets game. There's another team that forced Game 7 last night. Detroit, after being down 3-1, has now forced a Game 7. And I just want to point this out. The only time that Orlando has choked a 3-1 lead in my lifetime has been to, you guessed it, the Detroit Pistons. Do you know who was coaching that team? Of course you know who was coaching. It was fucking Doc Rivers. Jamal Mosley is... I think Jamal Mosley's job is secure. I don't think JB Bickerstaff's job is secure. Because if they lose the series, I'm 99% sure that he's going to get fired. And he might even win Coach of the Year and still be fired. I don't want that to happen, but I've seen Detroit do it before. The Dwayne Casey era. Oh, no. I think... Was that the Dwayne Casey era? I think that might have happened to Toronto. No, that happened in Toronto. I'm sorry, guys. That wasn't them. But he did go on to coach Detroit after that. So there is that. So yeah. I'm sorry, dog. It's just been really tough. It's been really, really tough. All right, so what happened to us was really bad, right? It was pretty the shot was literally, we had the Tyrese Halliburton moment prior to that. We've had the moment where we faced Orlando and we barely escaped by, and then we got embarrassed by the Celtics, who went on to win a championship. That was pretty bad too. But this one for Detroit, this win is a lot Paolo Banchero and the Orlando Magic. I know you're missing Franz, right? I know you're missing Franz. I know you're missing your best player. I do realize that. That is no excuse to allow a 55-10 run. That is no excuse. That is no excuse to score less points than there are minutes in the second half. There is no excuse for that. That's unacceptable. I am going to be completely honest. I did not think the Orlando Magic would be in a 7-game series. I thought there was a potential for it, but I just didn't see it happening because Orlando has the ability the inability to score baskets when it matters most. They have that inability. They are not capable of scoring baskets when it's most needed, right? And I know that because I've seen it before. And ironically enough, they did the same thing to Toronto. And Toronto has a bad offense, but a really, really good defense. And this team is sometimes inconsistent. Now, I'll say this. Desmond Bane, I'm sorry. If Desmond Bane loses in the first round, I want people to know that even though Paolo scored 45, and even though Franz is normally their best player, Desmond Bane actually might have the best series, had the best series out of all of them. Please look at the numbers. I encourage you, because especially if we're talking about consistency over the course of the 7-game series, please look at his numbers. They've been really, really good. Right? It's so crazy, dog. This is so crazy. There's a Game 7 that's going to be on today, by the way, in Boston. And I normally I want to upload my videos at 4:25. That's not going to happen today. I'm sorry, guys. But there's a Game 7 in Boston from Philly, and I thought Embiid coming back would actually kind of hurt them. I know that with Embiid on the court, he's better. They're just a better team, but I was thinking, oh, he's coming off of the appendix. I don't know how they're gonna really get him into the offense. And then the game where they tried, where Maxey really, really tried to make Embiid the focus. I think that was their first game, and they lost that game, right? Embiid has played really, really good in the games that he's been in here. And especially considering what he's coming off of. And by the way, in the game where he didn't shoot well, yeah, the defense was still there. And he was also keeping the bigs in foul trouble. And the formula for both of these teams is if the bigs are in foul trouble, it's going to be a lot harder to get Joel Embiid in foul trouble than it is for your bigs to be in foul trouble. Because he's so good at forcing contact and getting to the free throw line. Yeah, and Embiid is getting these calls on the playoffs too. Like, it's not just the 2023 niggas were like, oh my god, all he does is flop and fall on the floor. Yeah, nah, dog. He's getting them calls. He's making it very, very easy for him to get those calls. He's going to the line. If the Tatum and Brown that we saw shown up over the past 2 games shows up for you guys in Game 7, you're going to lose. I just want that to be known. And I'm rooting against you. I can't fucking stand Boston. I hate everything about Boston. I hate all of you. I hate every single Boston fan. Being a fan of this team is despicable to me. I hate the Boston Celtics. The only positive things I have to say about the Boston Celtics is Bill Russell played for you, and he did a lot of cool things. I hate you. By the way, if you're wondering what Jalen Duren did in that game where they won not last night, to force the Game 7. Oh, that was last night, actually. To force that Game 7, yeah, I'm wondering too, dog. It doesn't help that this game was overlapping with the other best game of the night, the Cavs game, which... RJ Barrett shot. That's... Last year, it was Tyrese Halliburton. At least with Tyrese Halliburton, they went on to have a finals run. There is no way in hell that this Toronto's team is going on a finals run. And if they do, I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry real tears of agony. By the way, since there's 2 Game 7s and they're both on the exact same side of the bracket, nobody fucking knows. Nobody knows who they're going to be playing. Even if they're focused on winning the game, first and foremost. But neither of these teams know who they're going to be playing. The best news for the Cavs is because they're playing the later game of that day, we found out is going to be on NBC. And the ABC is going to have... sorry. ABC will have the game of Detroit and the Orlando Magic in Detroit, by the way. So yeah, the Cavs will know who they're playing there. God, Scott, my note. I have notes for the Cavs Raptors game. By the way, it's not a lot, but you know, Scotty Barnes was doing great. It was a double technical on Harden and RJ. That was kind of cool. They were some playoff intensity. Strus and Mitchell were doing some stuff. That was cool. RJ was... Man, just like... the notes are literally as follows. The bigs need to... When the bigs are active, this team is really good. By the way, I do think that if anyone wants to know about a controversial call, no, Shed should have fouled out on that shit. That shit was a foul. That was a foul. That was a foul. That absolutely was a foul. And people are gonna say the contact from Dean Wade. The contact from D Wade in that situation, Dean Wade was marginal. That was marginal playoff screen. That was not a screen. He was not a moving screen or nothing. The contact there was nothing. That was a bullshit call by the refs. The fact that they immediately were able to say that, oh, the ball last touched Mobley and they didn't like think about it at all and we didn't have to review it is ridiculous. But you know, that's what happens when you waste your challenge in the first quarter on a call that everyone knows is not going to go your way. I'm not pro firing the coach because of roster problems, but like, dog, if Kenny finds a way to lose this Game 7, he needs to be fired. If JB loses the Game 7, he needs to be fired. With Joe Mazzulla, I don't know. I don't think Joe needs to be fired. He's also... Because he's... Oh, by the way, unlike the other guys I'm talking about, Joe has won a championship for this team. Not just making it to the finals in the case of Ime Udoka, but he's won a championship for this team. I don't think he needs to be fired. David Adelman, all the way out. Him in fucking Denver, fired. I have no idea why he was upgraded to be the new coach. Thiago Splitter needs a new job, and I can't imagine that there's a team that I would rather have him coach than this one. It'll be the complete inverse of what he coached previously in Portland, where they were a rarely good defensive team and they were not a very good offensive team. Yeah, Thiago Splitter needs a new job. What Portland's new owner is doing is fucking disgusting. He is completely an Ebenezer Scrooge. He is completely cheap to the highest degree. It is disgusting and it's appalling. I hate that guy. Not that I don't really need a lot of reasons to hate billionaires. They're billionaires. They generally make the quality of life worse for everyone around them. Or not everyone around them, but everyone. I don't really need reasons to dislike them. He's making it very easy to dislike him. The fans already hate him. The adversity Thiago Splitter, and by the way, I'm not even going to be talking more about the postseason games, by the way. The adversity that Thiago Splitter has dealt with with Chauncey Billups being fired for gambling on his players and fucking up their rotations and doing all that terroristic stuff, to getting this team who has no playoff experience outside of Drew Holiday and Time Lord to something as successful as they were this year. And to even win a game off the 62-win Spurs, who, by the way, when the game they won, guys, the Spurs have played a ton of games without Wemby. So do not discredit them. That's still a 60-win team. They beat them. Yeah, they're probably not a 60-win team without Wemby, but they've also played games. They've played a lot of games without Wemby. They look tough in those games. Give them a lot of credit. I don't like IDF, man. My dad doesn't like Scoot Henderson. I don't think anyone in the world hates Shaden Sharp. He's super cool. Jeremy Grant is cool. Some history with him. He's a good guy. I like that guy. Yeah, no, that's all I have to say. Like, it's like, yeah. Yeah, no, Thiago Splitter does not deserve this. And it's because they don't want to pay the man. It's because the owner doesn't want to pay. A billionaire doesn't want to pay for a guy to be a millionaire. If I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? And I told you that I'm not willing to pay you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you'd look at me like I was speaking Spanish. I was speaking foreign language. Something you don't understand. I'm not speaking English anymore. You'd be like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Why not? Why don't you want to pay me? Cheap ass McGee over here does not want to pay Thiago Splitter. That's disgusting, and I hate that. But there's gonna be some coaching vacancies, so hopefully he gets a team that he can do. He's probably, I'm not gonna lie, he'll probably get the Ime job because Ime's getting fired. Ime is getting fired. With all that being said, yeah. Thanks guys. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I refuse to have a consistent angle because the thing that I used to set up the thing, it didn't want to work today. It didn't want to work today. Goodbye. Goodbye, guys.